Today, Christians around the world pause to reflect on Good Friday, solemn day marking the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, the cross of Calvary. It is a moment of remembrance, sacrifice, and hope, central to the faith's message of salvation for mankind. Out of Cameroon, shock and grief have gripped Kampala, Uganda, after a knife attack at a local kindergarten, which left 4 children dead. And in sports, the 3rd edition of the National Administration Easter Tournament has kicked off in a grand style following a pre-tournament press conference and an official opening ceremony. Details of these stories and more on the news are today. Hello there, dear viewers. You're welcome to the last edition of News Hour on Royal Television for the week. For presentation, my name is Frida Aleyina. Today is Good Friday, and happy Good Friday to all Christians. As we told you, one of our top stories, as Christians across the globe commemorate the death of Jesus Christ on this day, known as Good Friday, pundits have different views on the actors involved in the arrest, torture, and death of Jesus Christ. Some of the actors in the line of Jesus' death are profiled in the following report by Mambo Williams.
Good Friday, a day Christians commemorate the death of Jesus Christ. But how good is a Friday when the Savior of humankind was arrested, several criminal counts levied on him, tortured, and nailed on the cross? Yes, it is Good Friday because he died to save humankind from bondage. The story of Jesus Christ's crucifixion is one of the most pivotal events in human history. But as we explore the circumstances surrounding his death, we find ourselves at a crossroad of blame. Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor of Judea, played a crucial role in Jesus' trial and execution. Was he merely a puppet of the Jewish leaders, or did he have agency in the decision? Historians argue that Pilate's actions were likely motivated by a desire to maintain order and appease the Jewish authorities. The Jewish leaders, including Caiaphas and the Pharisees, were instrumental in pushing for Jesus' execution. Did they see him as a threat to their power and traditions? Or were they acting out of genuine concern for the well-being of their people? Some believe Jesus' death was a necessary sacrifice foretold in Scripture and part of God's plan for humanity's salvation. Others argue that human actions rather than divine decree led to his crucifixion. The narrative of Jesus' death raises fundamental questions about sacrifice, redemption, and the nature of justice. Was Jesus' death a heroic sacrifice or a brutal execution? The story of Jesus' death is complex with multiple perspectives and motivations at play. As we explore these different angles, we are reminded that history is often more complicated than we initially think.
Mambo William ending the report. Christians now look forward to the commemoration of Easter come Sunday. On to other news. In Boya yesterday, heavy runoff believed to be from Mount Cameroon turned the streets into rivers, paralyzing movement for over 3 hours. The flood waters blocked the main road in front of the office of the Cameroon GC board, leaving vehicles stranded and pedestrians struggling to navigate the chaos. Our reporter Daniel Ikomi has the details.
It was at about 3 p.m. that this heavy flooding once again brought part of Boya to a standstill this Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. The massive flooding around the GC board area is said to have emanated from the mountain, passing through several communities like Bova, Bokwai, Bokoko, and Bundum. The sudden flooding that was beyond control caused a significant disruption, trapping students, pedestrians, and car owners for several hours on one lane. The students and pedestrians could be seen navigating their way through just to cross the heavy flooding. With rainy season just around the corner, some people say such incidents seems not to be strange.
On my part, I must say that I'm not very surprised by the rains, because if you look at geographically, we are moving from the dry season to the rainy season, and when you start seeing this black water, many people call it, or dark water, it signifies the arrival of the rainy season in Cameroon, let me use that word, or in the southwest or northwest regions of Cameroon. And like someone who is very versed with this, the day I saw it, I just knew that no, it's almost time for the rainy season. I need to start buying my sweaters or my pullovers so that I keep myself very warm. Yeah, I know it's surprising to those who not really know, but you know, when there are some holes in the mountain, or deep holes, let me use that word, or gutters towards the mountain, when they are very full, at some point they start pouring out, and when they start pouring out, just like how a bucket is, when you put water there and it starts sending out some water that is in it and is very full. So I think that that's what has happened, and as at now, it's mostly those of Bova, Bokwai, Bokoko, Mamuliko, Muya, who might have seen it because of the area that it has touched. So I think that that's my own thing. It's a normal phenomenon, but I just pray it has not really caused a lot of damage to houses, because I know the last time it came down, people suffered a lot. I just hope it does not cause of damage.
This latest incident has intensified questions regarding government long-term strategy for flood prevention in the area, as this stretch always experience heavy flooding during intense rainy season.
Daniel Inkomimbua ending that report. Let's take you over to Lime, where some 9 trainees from the Maritime Law Enforcement and Diving School in Isongo, Limbe, have received end of course diver certificates. This was during a graduation ceremony that took place recently at the Epiam campus in Isongo, Limbe, Fakot Division of the Southwest Region. Natalie Juma has the details.
The officials, laureates, and invited guests gathered at the main courtyard of the Maritime Law Enforcement and Diving School at Isongo, Limbe, to receive their diver certificates on the occasion of the end of a basic specialty training on diving. The 9 trainees, including one man, officially received their shipboard diver certificates in a ceremony presided over by the Major General of the Cameroon Navy, Rear Admiral Ade Quenti Larry, assisted by the commander of the Limbe Naval Base, Eric Land Akutu Junu. The graduating class recorded 100% success, as all divers were awarded excellence, a result which recognizes the commitment of these professional divers as well as the quality of the training provided by national instructors and international experts for their 45 days spent at the Maritime Law Enforcement and Diving School. The laureates were reminded that being a diver isn't just about knowing how to swim in deep water, but also about being an exceptional rescuer. As the event unfolded, the trainees were trained in first aid techniques, CPR, managing asphyxia and resuscitation protocols, from pool stabilization exercises to sea dives on board high-speed vessels. The students learned to master their environment, as coastal currents are no longer obstacles but parameters for them to maneuver. Meantime, with these new cohort specialists, the Cameroon Navy is strengthening sovereignty over its territorial waters.
Still Still in Limbe, the huge consignments of illegal drugs recently confiscated at the Bota port by elements of the Limbe Naval Base in collaboration with custom officials have been destroyed in the Mokunda new layout in Limbe. The team led by Navy Captain Eric Akutuojino seized these illegal drugs at the Bota port in Limbe, believed to be from neighboring country Nigeria. Once more, Natalie Njuma.
The burning exercise took place at the Lone Hygiene and Sanitation dumping site, the outskirts of Mukunda New Layout in Limbe 2 subdivision. The destruction exercise took place in the presence of members of the Investigation and Evaluation Committee put in place by the Senior Divisional Officer for FACO, Yang Bekala, represented by the Divisional Officer for Limbe 1, Innocent Moni Nanje. Other members of the Destruction Committee include officials of the public health from the drug fund in the Southwest region, custom officials, Limbe Po and the Limbe Naval Base who carried out the seizure. According to Navy Captain Dr. Okopeti Sedingele, the Chief Medical Officer of the Limbe Naval Base and the coordination of the fight against drugs and illegal traffic of medical products in the Navy, the destroyed products were not only harmful to the human body, but poses a serious threat to the well-being of the society.
Delegate at the Ministry of Economic Planning and Regional Development since 2018. He is known for his expertise in planning, monitoring, and control, and has contributed to the Growth Employment Strategy paper. Some of his notable achievements include Economic Commissioner for CEMAC. Tasong served as Economic Commissioner for CEMAC for Central African Economic and Monetary Commission until December 2017. He was equally the Regional Delegate of the Economic Planning and Regional Development for the Southwest region. Tasong holds a master's degree in public administration and management from University in Belgium and a diploma in taxation from ENAM. His appointment comes after his recent call for unity and development in the Leang Fondom, emphasizing population growth and education.
Many thanks, Sharon Tita. You're listening to News Hour on Royal Television. We want to take you out of the country now. Let's start in Kampala, Uganda, where shock and grief have gripped Kampala after a knife attack at a local kindergarten left 4 children dead. Authorities have launched an urgent investigation into the motive behind the deadly assault. Plus, Anger is mounting in Bissau as protesters break the following that killing of a prominent activist, with demonstrators demanding justice and greater protection for civil society voices. Nanga Sonia.
A shocking attack at a nursery school in Kampala, Uganda, has left 4 young children dead in an incident that has stunned the nation. Police say a man gained access to the GABA Early Childhood Development Program by posing as a parent before carrying out the deadly assault. According to reports, he locked the school gate before attacking the children. Authorities confirmed the victims were all toddlers attending the same daycare facility. Preliminary findings confirmed the tragic loss of 4 minors during the incident. The suspect was arrested at the scene as angry residents gathered, some attempting to attack him before police intervened. Officers fired shots in the air to disperse the crowd present. Police say investigations are ongoing to determine the motive behind the attack. Ugandan police spokesperson say the suspect is currently under interrogation as investigations continue to establish his motive, background, and any other relevant circumstances surrounding these heinous crimes. Such attacks are rare in Kampala, and the tragedy has sparked grief and outrage among parents and the wider community. Hundreds of protesters took to the streets in Bissau, Guinea, demanding justice following the killing of civil society activist Vigario Luis Balanta. Demonstrations broke out after his funeral, which mourners marched through the capital before being dispersed by police using tear gas and batons. Some protesters also burned tires and blocked roads, bringing parts of the city to a standstill. Balanta, 35, was found dead earlier this week in a rural area outside the capital. His body reportedly showing signs of violent assault. His death has sparked outrage in the country, already facing political instability following a recent coup. For many demonstrators, the killing was not accidental but politically motivated. Other protesters echoed calls for accountability, insisting the demonstrations were peaceful. Many described Balanta as a defender of the people and a symbol of resistance. The United Nations has condemned the killing as brutal and called for a full investigation, warning of a shrinking civic space in the country since the 2025 military takeover. As tensions rise, the case has become a flashpoint for wider concerns about human rights, political repression, and the rule of law in Guinea-Bissau. Britain accused Iran on Thursday of holding the world's economy hostage as diplomats from more than 40 countries held talks on ways to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping route that has been choked off by the US-Israeli war against Iran. The U.S. is not attending the virtual meeting, which comes after President Donald Trump made clear that he thinks securing the waterway closed as a consequence of the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran is not America's job. Trump has also disparaged America's European allies for failing to support the war and renewed his threats to pull out the U.S. out of NATO. UK Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper says talks, which focused on political and diplomatic rather than military means, show the strength of international determination to reopen the strait. In the meantime, more than 36 countries, including the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Canada, Japan, and the United Arab Emirates, have signed a statement demanding Iran to stop its attempts to block the strait and pledging to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the waterway. Cooper says the 40-plus countries at the meeting from the 35 announced Wednesday discussed diplomatic and international planning measures to ensure the strait can reopen safely and action to guarantee the safety of 20,000 seafarers on 2,000 ships trapped by the conflict.
Let's now talk sports on News Art today, where the third edition of the National School of Local Administration Easter Tournament has kicked off in a grand style following a pre-tournament press conference and an official opening ceremony presided over by the governor of the Southwest Region, Bernard Okalia Bilai. 4 teams, including Nasla, Premature FC, Dream Team of Bafusam, and Surveyors and Friends secure qualifications for the semi-finals. Kusona Claudia has the details.
Our aim in the short term is to be known among the initiated, quote unquote, those who practice football of a certain generation
On the eve of kickoff, organizers held a press conference where the Director General of the National School of Local Administration and Chief Organizer, Tanyiti Eno Achuobaye, outlined the vision of the tournament, emphasizing its role in promoting unity, fair play and competitive grassroots football. The tournament was officially declared open and ceremonially kicked off by the Governor of the Southwest Region, Bernard Okalia Bilai, adding prestige and institutional support to the competition. On the pitch, Nasla set the tone early with 2-1 victory over Premature FC in the opening match, delivering a thrilling start to the tournament. Despite that setback, Premature showed resilience to bounce back and secure a place in the semi-finals, joining Nasla, Dream Team of Bafusam and Surveyors and Friends. The competition has also been enriched by the presence of former Cameroon national team football stars, including Jean-De Makun, Timothy Ateba, Pierre Womelen, Samuelen and Franco, whose presence continues to inspire young players and elevate the status of the event. Speaking after qualification, the coach Premature FC praised the tournament organization and the level of the competition.
Non, vraiment, ce tournoi était un très bon tournoi. Nous sommes habitués de ce tournoi. Première édition, on a joué sans défaite jusqu'à la finale et on a gagné la coupe. Deuxième, on est arrivé, on n'a pas éliminé, on nous a éliminés. Mais cette fois-ci, quand on est arrivé, je vous ai dit hier que la marmite est couverte. La manip peut être ouverte aujourd'hui. Et comme le premier match est passé, mais on avait confiance en nous. J'ai dit aux gars que les matchs se suivent, mais ça ne se ressemble pas. Là, pourquoi le deuxième match est venu. Malgré l'égalisation de 1-1, les gars même avaient déjà peur de dire que non. Le match est à la fin. Jouer. Et la meilleure équipe, c'est celui qui a le banc de touche. Qui a un meilleur banc de touche. Et ils savent jouer. Comme moi, j'ai géré, je suis content de cette victoire.
While the president of Dream Team Bafusam highlighted his team's determination and progressing throughout the playoffs to reach the main tournament.
Bon, nos objectifs de cette année, c'est venir remporter le trophée. C'est la troisième édition du Naravette cette année. Et je pourrais vous dire que j'ai une expérience parce que c'est ma troisième fois de participer à ce tournoi. Je suis venu la première fois avec l'équipe de Sauver en Freine comme président. La deuxième fois, la même équipe comme président où nous sommes sortis, nous avons pris la deuxième place. Nous avons joué la finale, mais malheureusement, nous avons perdu la finale contre Nasla. Et cette année-ci, j'ai décidé de revenir avec l'équipe de Bafoussam parce que je voulais représenter une équipe, faire venir une équipe de reste dans ce tournoi pour pouvoir élever le niveau du tournoi. Et nous ne sommes pas venus pour blaguer, nous sommes venus pour remporter le tournoi.
With the semi-final lineup now confirmed, anticipation continues to build as teams prepare for decisive encounters in the race for the Naslavet title.
Today, Christians around the world pause to reflect on Good Friday, the solemn day marking the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on the cross of Calvary. It is a moment of remembrance, sacrifice and hope, central to the faith's message of salvation for mankind. Out of Cameroon, shock and grief have gripped Kampala, Uganda after a knife attack at a local kindergarten which left 4 children dead. And in sport, I told you that the 3rd edition of the National School of Local Administration Easter Tournament has kicked off in a grand style following a pre-tournament press conference and an official opening ceremony. Thank you so much for being part of News Art today. It has been a production of Nguni Sonita. Technical assistance came in from Isa Abdullahi. Presentation Frida Leina with general supervision from Alaji Bubasali. Have a lovely weekend. Catch you all next week. Bye-bye.